Welcome to my channel, Ida the Intuitive. Tired of playing with folks who are not playing fair. Tired of playing with folks who are not playing fair. There needs to be clarity in a situation in order for things to be just. There needs to be some clarity that is given in order for there to be balance. And somebody is just so standing on their tippy toe, honey, trying to stop some information from being revealed or given to the victims of a situation. And you need to go ahead and give that clarity. Somebody needs to go ahead and accept that they need to go ahead and give that clarity. This Queen of Wands energy here, that's kind of like, look, holding something in their hand. It's time for you to spread that clarity. Like just sitting on it. And isn't that interesting with both of these orange cards here? It's kind of like it looks like a manifesting thing. A plotting, a planning, holding on to some information and waiting to see what they're going to do with it. Because otherwise, and I don't know if this person knows this or not, it's almost as if this person does not handle it in the way that it needs to be handled, all that will happen is that the disgusting actions that are the injustice that continues to happen will just continue to happen. But this person seems to be so focused on like letting people know that they ain't about shit, they're not that bitch. Like they're still so focused on that they want to hold people in that kind of energy for as long as they can, when it's like there's chaos running amok, cruelty running amok. I think that also there's a misunderstanding of what one party can handle, of like what one party is ready for, what one party is willing to like just stand in the reality. Like there's something about being able to stand in the reality of a situation and just lay it out exactly as it is and stop assuming that you're going to be able to, like, not as a grab table. You know what it's making me think of? Like if you were to get a bunch of food for everybody, right, and put it all out on the table, and it's like either we're going to share it and look over it, or everyone's just going to grab as much as they can, hoard it, and run to their own space, right? And so that's what it's making me think of this energy of like, somebody has a big old bag of information that needs to be shared, and that, you know, but they're stealthy with it, because they just would rather hold it in the bag, and then they can take little bites whenever they want to take little bites from it, right? But meanwhile, it's like somebody needs that shit on the fucking table, because, you know, they're like being starved. Okay, literally, figuratively, it can go in a lot of different ways, but there's like a starvation happening, in some kind of way, while somebody is holding on to this big old bag of information, and then like trying to make moves with all that they have in their hand. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, somebody, you need to go ahead and put that shit on the table. Put it out on the table, because, you know, and just put it out there. And I feel, and that's what I was saying, there's this feeling of like, oh, then you'll just snatch it all up and take it all up. And it's like, not everybody is stealthy like you. So some of us will, you know, just need to see what is being hidden, so that we can have that information. I've been picking this up too, this idea that, well, if you just like, eventually they'll heal, right? Eventually they will heal from this situation, and they'll just forget about it. They'll find peace and move on, and it'll be over. But the reality is, everything is still in the air. Like, there's still like big chunks, but not just big chunks of curiosity, right? Like, we can sit cross-legged and think about, you know, the possibility all day, but it's not just that. There's also injustice surrounding this that has happened, this situation that has happened. And so they're fucking leaning back on their heels. Because a lot of that they held in their nice big bag, some of it was very sneakily, okay? And there was things that were not truthful being told, and that's what's trying to be covered up. What I want to know though is like, even with that assumption of like, that's what they're trying to keep safe, is that already clear to most of the parties involved? That's what I'm feeling like. Yeah, like intuitively someone is like, it's already being picked up, the clarity of the situation. But then like they're thinking that they're waiting for you to feel insecure. Like, someone's waiting for you to feel insecure about the reality of the mess that they've created. So they want to keep doing that. They want to keep what they know that's really important, that literally could move some of this shit along, you know, in one way or another. And that's another thing. They're trying to like beat the bush of what's gonna happen, so that they can control it, because they think that they know exactly what's going to happen. But it's just kind of like, and so then waiting for somebody to feel like this about it, the five of pentacles about it. And it's like, they don't even feel like that. They don't even feel like that. And I feel like it's really not, look, like this. And then look at the other card, look. It's like they don't really even feel like that. Eight of Swords in reverse. They don't even really feel like that. And that's what, and they're hella mad about that they don't. But it's like, that's not even in their energy to feel that way for too long. Look, and that somebody really doesn't have a deep need to be in ego about every little single fucking thing, right? Everybody deserves to be in their ego at some point as well, because I feel there's been this energy of like calling folks who are literally so intact and in peace with their ego, who understand their ego, know when they've gone too far, knowing when they're pushing the boundary, knowing their ego well enough to know when they're doing too much. And like, that's just not how everybody moves. Not everybody moves solely out of ego and out of just like maniacal control. Like, some folks literally are like, well, today I'm gonna have to be in my ego about it, but it's not gonna be forever. Noticing how you feel with your ego is a great way to learn how to control it, and being able to stand up for the things that your ego is telling you, right? If I see someone that I think is very, very beautiful and prettier than me, and I feel jealous of that, then I acknowledge that. Like, I peep myself, right? That's how you control your ego, is that you notice when your ego is leading you like this by the collar. So yeah, if I feel that way and I'm like, damn, she's so pretty, let me go trip her on her way out the door, right? It's like, before taking the unnecessary action, you accept the emotion for what it is and realize that either way, it's no reason for me to act like. Then you remind yourself who you are. You can only be you in this life. And that nobody, whether somebody's prettier than you or not, you cannot morph into their fucking body and change their life and the way their life looks. And then, you know what I just heard? Don't nobody want to be you. Don't nobody want to be you. Again, ego. Like, every single, like, somebody, it's like every rebuttal is just a twist and turn of ego, instead of like, just put the shit out on the table. For somebody, accept that some people think that somebody is hot even though you don't. And the reality is that someone is going to have to just stand tall with the information that they have. That's really like, stand tall with it and put it out. Put it out there. That's what I'm getting. out there, honey. And then I'm also picking up, it's like they saw you in a state of anger at one point, right? They saw you in a state of being very, very angry about what they put you through. Then you found ways to deal with that anger. And so they're still trying to light that fire to get you in that energy again, so that then they can portray you to other people. See, she's this type of bitch. That's that type of person. That's who she is. You know, when really it's like they just don't want folks to know who they are. And what they did matters. You don't get to just walk away from this situation like it doesn't matter, like it's just another thing that it'll all blow over. It's not gonna. It isn't going to. Because somebody can't check themselves. So they'll keep doing this for as long as they can, keep two eyes open. But then also, there's much more underneath. It's like, it's not a band-aid. It's not a band-aid situation. It's not a band-aid, and it really doesn't matter how much. It really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Someone's not getting that. Like, it really doesn't matter, like, what it feels like to you, what it looks like to you, what it could be, couldn't be, beat, boop, beat. It's not a band-aid situation. So, what are the steps towards... So, the Three of Swords in reverse. And then somebody also, I feel like, keeps using this thing of like, it's going to turn into some sort of opportunity, like using the power that they have to make it seem as if they're eventually going to reach out to further something. But I don't think that's not true. Or I just said that. I don't think that's not true. It's what I said. And also, and that's another thing, knowing what somebody does not want, and knowing how somebody does not want to make their money, does not want to do. And that's what folks are trying to push them into over some lewd, nasty shit. I keep on picking that up. I really keep on picking that up. Like somebody trying to push somebody into doing some sort of like, I don't know, just kind of lewd, like cam girly type energy, even though they know that that's not what somebody wants, and then trying to push them into, I don't know, Something about, you know, that song. If it said that you can dance, if it said you can dance. Wait, what's that line? If you can dance, you can fuck, but dance time is up. Let's go, let's go. And like, so somebody trying to like take someone's innocence and say you're not going to be able to do this if you haven't done this, but that's like not even really true. Like, that's not even really true, you know? And I feel like I remember I had a dance teacher that said that, like, you know, once you've had sex, you dance differently. But I also think that, like, someone is using that in a way they shouldn't be using it in order to, like, just further their own weird, I don't know. I'm just not liking that. I'm not liking that assumption in this situation. Because that's what I'm saying. And I've been picking that up too, of this energy of like, yeah, well, she's gonna have to in order to do this. But like, somebody is a King of Pentacles in reverse ass motherfucker. Like somebody who's just kind of lewd and crude and thinking like they need to be some sort of gatekeeper to like, some sort of gatekeeper to something. They're planning something and they know they're under judgment for these plans. Like they keep on plotting and planning shit that they know is like so wrong to even be doing. And it's like, you know, somebody's also, you know, it's like if you're a high priestess, if you have the intuitive ability to pick up what's going on, it's like, it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work. And I'm also picking up that people are gonna just be who they are, like regardless of the repercussions of that. Like someone is like, I'm gonna keep doing me whether or not, like, it really, I just have to keep being me. I have to keep being me and keep on moving in the direction that I want to move in. And then I'm getting, it's like, in order for their plan to work the way they need it to work, you have to not be able to move to calmer waters. Like, you have to be able to feel still fully attached to the situation. So whenever you're healing, they don't want that. When you heal, they don't want to let it go. They want to keep you in this state of like this, so that you know. And then meanwhile, while they're then doing something behind your back that's, you know, largely important to what you have been through in your situation, because I've also been picking that up of like, they're trying to handle all this shit that involves you deeply and then act like you're not involved in it. And you know, the last thing that I'm gonna say, you could have your eyes set on somebody And because of how keen your eye is and how for real you are about knowing that something you've been going through is connected to this fucking person, that even if they try and do magic and try to drag you through the mud and make you think, oh, like I feel something for this person, or oh, it's deeper, it really could be you have your eye on this person because it's time for them to pay up in some sort of way. Sometimes it's like, you know what your op, sometimes you maybe have a little crush on your op, right? But it doesn't mean that you don't know it's still your fucking op. And that's just real shit. I honestly feel like that's just real talk. Like, anybody who's ever had an op, sometimes it's like you really liked your op before they were your op. You know what I'm saying? But the eye sees what it fucking sees. So no one's feelings are going to render them helpless to the reality that, you know, just because I have a twinkle in my eye, it doesn't mean I'm not fucking staring straight ahead, right? Like, the cheetah has a beautiful eye. But it sees what it needs to fucking see, right? At the same time. So, you know, think about it that way, because somebody thinks they have you pegged as like, oh, you know, we'll just confuse her, make her think this, that, confuse them, make them think. And it's like, no, I see you. I see you. I see you. Right? Okay? So that's what I just want to close it out as. I see your ass. I see you. No, I'm never looking. I'm never looking, you know, never looking directly in the camera. Okay, so that's all. That's really all I have. Take care. Take care. Till next time. Bye.